Okay, the origins of making our own disc golf course. All right, so we haven't explored it yet. We are in the thick of it. Out here, and we hopped 2 fences to get here, but we're thinking maybe first hole where we are playing to here, or I'm thinking more like first hole there. So there's this big pocket of trees, a lot of like plain grassland around, but there's a big pocket of trees where, according to the map, there's like a little river thing that goes through it at the very bottom of it. So what I'm thinking is you play along here, kind of go in the trees, out of the trees, in the trees, out of the trees, up the hill, oops, focusing, and then kind of downhill back into here. There's like, right here, you can see a bare spot there, and a bare spot there. There's kind of a bare gap in the middle of these trees. That can be like, you know, you shoot from up here into there, back into a green that's in the trees, out of the, you know, tunnel shot kind of out of the trees back over here, and kind of playing in this little tree patch is kind of my thoughts so far. All right, so the previous idea, if you recall from the video, it was hole 1 to potentially land there, or hole 1 to start there. Turns out this hill that we were gonna throw into the trees is entirely too steep. I mean, that's gotta be, what do you think, Eric? 800 feet away and 200 feet of elevation?
At least, yeah.
That's way too far for a hole 1 that could just be, vanish into this forest. Like, that would not be good. So we're thinking so far, this is not bad for the tee of 1 that we talked about. So hole 1, potentially starting about where Eric is,
A little further.
maybe a little further. There's kind of a little pocket of this tree to go around. It goes over this fence.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler.
Number 3 we're about to jump.
Yeah, the 3rd fence we're gonna have to hop though. And right here, I don't know if the camera picks it up. You know, you can end up short, hit this, or go long and hit this, but there's like kind of an opening for a forehand line to sink down into that little forested area. We're gonna check it out. Okay, update, I'm coming from basket 1 location. So where we were before, after we crossed that fence, you threw like a forehand, kind of starting behind the tree a little bit. Forehand, maybe, you know, hyzer slightly understable, pops up to flat, flies through here, comes into this pocket, which is not, I'd say it's 30 feet across, and then lands right about here, where you can go 25 feet long before you end up in a river. And it's kind of mucky on all sides. So, you know, if you pop it up too high, you fly over this hillside, go down into here. A little creek. Yeah, that's hole 1. So there's the entrance pocket. Start off with a, what would you call that distance-wise? Probably 270? 300?
300.
About 300. And slightly downhill, because you kind of throw uphill, but you start more downhill. So up the hill, around that tree, come into the pocket, land about here. So we walked from there. We found like some kind of game trail. I don't think it's mountain biking or anything, but there's kind of a little trail that runs along this pretty steep hillside. Right, put the camera in the right orientation so you can see how steep. It's kind of steep through here, but there's kind of like a little flat spot through here on this little trail. And we're thinking maybe getting creative and could knock down a couple of these branches. I'm gonna turn around 180 degrees, knock down a couple of these little branches in here, and then suddenly we might have like, you know, kind of a little 200-foot puttery type shot, very tunnely. Might require a slight turnover to go to the right down there, something like that. That might be hole 2, but it's a little far from basket 1 to tee box 2. We'll see. All right, so we walked 10 steps, 20 steps from the last spot. Instead of a tunnel through there, we're thinking knock out a branch somewhere along that trail that makes you throw an Anheuser backhand flex shot up along these like little flowers and comes across to this side somewhere. Maybe like behind this tree, something like that. All right, we walked back along that trail that I was talking about earlier. We're thinking about doing a putter shot, and we found this little spot, kind of a rough starting point. We'd obviously had tee pads. But you throw right here through this pocket. Little Anheuser backhand flex shot. Kind of flies over these yellow flowers and an Anheuser flight. I don't know if you can see it. There's a tree right there. I'm thinking flex hard and high enough where the disc flies like that, flattens out, and then hyzers again behind that tree. Looks like only like maybe 270, but it's a Pretty tough little pocket. Let me back up so I'm not right at it, about where I threw. It's kind of a little tough little pocket. Might be a good one. So recapping this shot, it's probably hole 2. Comes out of a pocket around there. Flies Anheuser over those yellow flowers. Comes around in between this bush and this tree. Starts to flatten out in the air. And then basket about here. So kind of a forced shape, but still cool. So update still on hole 2. Eric's walking back. I'm standing near where we're thinking the basket will be. Somewhere in this region. Kind of tucked behind these trees from his perspective. He's going to be throwing out of a pocket there. Anheuser over the yellow. Flexing out. Coming down into here. So he's going to go for it in a second. I'm spotting him. He's spotting me. It's all real wild and thistly out here. So pretty easy to lose a disc. And you're not getting it called back on. So alright. Let's see Eric go. Okay, not enough Anheuser. He's stuck behind that tree. Eric is recovering his disc from hole 2 that I've described probably too many times by now. Anheuser over the yellow flowers, flexes are over me, lands there. So what I'm thinking now is a shot right about here. That's slightly uphill, I'd say 30 feet, 40 feet uphill. It's kind of a shorter shot so far that I'm thinking, but I put my basket, it's to the right of this tree just by a little bit. And it's a pretty steep, you can kind of see that it might be, but it's pretty steep where the potential basket would be. So it's, you're kind of throwing over like a mini creek, doesn't make a difference really. But you're throwing uphill, I'm thinking like soft putter turnover or like, zone forehand kind of thing. So one of those two, or if you want to get really aggressive, you can just go right at the pocket and you'll probably, as long as you don't clip the grass early and just throw something flat, you should be putting too. So it's kind of ballsy. Or tomahawk if you want to be wild, but something like that. Update. I have found 2 ticks on me. So hole 2's basket location was about here. If you kind of hike up this bullshit hill to where I am, this will be the proposed tee spot. I'm thinking Eric's scoping out a spot that goes from where he is, maybe along his right side of the trees to somewhere over here. There might be something there. We're not sure. But either way, I've definitely found a shot from here. I think I was just describing it in the last video. Something about a pocket in a tree or a turnover. It's that tree there. So you could, oh my God, so many fucking bugs on me. To the right there, maybe 60 feet and right, oh my God, the bugs, is a basket. But I'm thinking specifically the shot being this kind of gap. Right in here. It's kind of a little window to get out of here. Punishes you pretty bad if you miss it. Or if you want to do a forehand flex. So you can do the backhand like putter. Backhand putter or understable mid. Kind of turn over that way. Or a forehand flex up and over that way. But I brought a straight putter, an understable putter, and a hex. Stable hex. To try and make it happen. So we'll see. Alright, my third shot was a forehand. Out of the pocket that's somewhere over here. Kind of faded out too early, hit this tree and died. Second shot seemed to be about pin high but left because it's a stable putter. And my understable, what's it called? What's the fucking putter? Not NV, the other one? No, the other one. I don't know why I'm blanking. It's the one just Proxy. Proxy was close to an ace, Eric says. Let's see. This is proposed basket location because if you miss the 2 understable and you're in the shit. So we rangefindered it. It's only 260 feet and slightly downhill from that pocket. But it is a little pocket that if you smack one of those limbs and fall there, be a pretty miraculous par save, but doable still. Okay, what is hole? Is this 4? Yeah, so hole 4. The last basket location was here on this kind of sloping into the death gully.
To the left of the tree over there. Like,
Yeah.
kind of on the ground.
It's just over here, so you know, kind of hike up this little easy grassy spot. Wow, what a beautiful, like,
That's perfect.
cartoon-ass day with the clouds. It's like so fake. So we start here, is what we're thinking. And there's a little tree, or it's not a little tree, it's pretty big. Right here, we rangefinder at about 300. We kind of want it to be tucked in pretty hard behind that tree. So either forehand over here, or backhand more greedy over the taller trees where you might get caught if you release low. Something like that. We haven't walked over there, so we don't know what the landing is, but I threw a forehand that barely clipped this tree and fell in there pretty decent. It's easy par, I think. All right, Eric threw his first shot while I was still out of my breath. Couldn't get my phone out in time. I threw the forehand to where we're thinking basket is about here, kind of behind this big ass tree. I threw a forehand and clipped this bush, came out a little low. Eric threw a forced backhand. A little risky if you're short, but he threw it and parked where we think the basket is. Here he goes. No problem. You might even have a putt. Okay, I just walked down the hill just slightly from here. Eric's force landed about here. His second shot landed about there. And upon reconsideration, Eric and I are maybe thinking kind of deathly throw over these trees. Bit punishing if you low release, but basket here. So you can go over with a backhand, which hovers kind of over this death, but then fades back to this little shrub. Or if you want to be a safe little bitch like I'll be doing, you throw a forehand that comes across this clean, easy grass. So if you land short, you know, it'll hyzer and hit the ground pretty early. And there's no skipping out here with this 5-foot grass. So that's an option. It's a little punishing. Like if you just clip and punch through, you'll be okay. And it's kind of open there in the middle, but like you hit something like this, early release and low is the jungle. But so far I haven't seen any poison oak, just confirmed 4 ticks on my body.
No, thank you. So from here.
All right, me and Eric were considering the next shot we'd have available from this last shot we just did, hole 4, would be something too similar across another grouping of trees and on that hillside. So we're thinking maybe turn this one into a par 4, because he started beyond these trees on this hillside somewhere. You backhand, end up here-ish, and then the par 4 would be this kind of a little pocket that Eric's making his way toward. Put a green in there. So, you know, perfect shot, birdie. Or if you're, this is kind of a greedy first shot because you hit these trees and you're in the bone zone. But if you play up high backhand or forehand, you could be up here, which makes it a much, you know, touchier uphill to downhill touch shot right into this little pocket. And you know, you clip something, you'll have to pitch up, tap in a par. But if you nail it, you know, nail it from over here, nail it from into there, you have a birdie on a par 4. I'm definitely thinking par 4 so far, but Eric's making his way down there and we'll see how open it is. So update, we're still in the air on the par 3/par 4. I was thinking par 4 location would be nice to have about here, but we'd have to clear out some shit. And par 4 back there, I mean, you're not gonna two it a lot, but it's twoable, which might be fun. But I think it'd be an easy par. Like you get par every time. You backhand over those trees.
2, like eagle?
Yeah. If it was just in this little gap, it's twoable. It'd be a hard two, but it's twoable. Gabe,
Yes.
with his arm, smacks it in here just right. Maybe it's good there. I don't know. It's a pretty tight pocket coming in.
A nasty 2. That is like 1 in 100 too. Unless you're throwing 400 feet consistently.
You think it's 400 from there? I thought it was more like 370
we could-
downhill.
We could scoot the tee back or up or down.
That's true.
Or
Okay,
move
I
the
like
tee
that.
around. Yeah.
Because this little pocket, I'm for the sake of the vlog here, I'm not going to walk back over there because it's kind of fucked. But there is a little bit of, like right there where the sun and the shade meet, it's kind of like open ceiling, like nothing above it. Little pocket of trees going at it. The last video will kind of show. Eric was walking toward it. But there's a nice little open spot there. It's a little bit on a hillside, but that's okay. Yeah, you know what? I like it, Eric. We'll back up a bit. So it'd be like 400 feet, but downhill. And it's actually somehow aceable if you have a monster arm.
Yeah.
And just hit the precise line. Toolable if you come in that perfect pocket somehow. And then most of us are getting 3 or 4. Yeah, that's sick. I'd say equally likely to get a 3 or a 4. But just as likely, you hit it that early tree over the overs, you're getting a 6 easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that may be a cool one. Hole 4, par 4.
Hole 4, par 4.
See last section of video to see where basket is. We took 10 steps from the last segment of the video. Boy Scout, identify that. Is that poison oak? That doesn't look like poison oak. Is this poison oak? Leaflets of 3, round edges. I don't know, it looks kind of like really shrubby for poison oak, but I don't fucking know. Walking again, seems to be some kind of game trail again, so we kind of following a little bit of a trail, so it's not just pure 7-foot grass. Very low ceiling for walking. Me and Eric are now trying to scope out something that crosses this little ravine, because we saw that little bare patch. If you see the second or third section of the video, there's a bare patch, open patch in the forest there somewhere that looks really cool. So we're trying to find out. We're 80 feet from the basket of 4, looking for something that crosses this ravine, like a little window to make something cool to get across. Update in a moment. Eric, you want me to lead? Why is that?
There's a fat fucking snake just slithered in front of it.
Eric likes when I trailblaze. That way I get all the ticks on me.
Yeah.
Okay, this is pretty gnarly. We're now like 120 feet past the basket. We're trying to justify. Nevada's got some hikes. We'll have to do some clearing. Come on, Eric. I'm trailblazing.
I'm gonna go this way.
So, Eric, how far do you think we are from the last basket now? Oh, sorry, that's gonna whack you. Okay. 200 feet, 300 feet. I mean, there might be some sort of like kind of boring putter shot if we clear some of the shit out along the trail, but I'm not out here to make a boring shot. Oh, this might be a little ravine shot. I'm telling you, we buy some rope, make a rope bridge across the ravine. Yeah, it is really steep.
Like, one thing to consider is like the shot is one thing, but the people walking, you want to make sure that
just Chads like us are going to be walking it.
it's doable. It's just like, do we really want to make people cross that fucking ravine? It's like a steep ass wall.
Tricky. Tricky. Okay, I think we found our fish shot. A little straightforward, but it might be something. All right, so we think we found hole 5. Probably about a 250 foot, 300 walk from where we last were. We definitely have to clear out some of this trail to make it nice and less gnarly. Eric's trail finding.
What the fuck?
I was gonna say that doesn't look like 250. That looks like 300.
290.
290. Yeah. Okay. Little pocket right there. Kind of just a flat shot. If you early release, you late release, you might be getting bogey. Yeah, I kind of like that. Right at the stump. Even maybe we'll even put it on the stump for shits and giggles.
Throwing Justice's disc over and over again. Sorry, Justice.
All right, let her rip, Eric.
It's
Kind of tricky
cool
because
shot.
we have to do everything standstill since everything's
I got a little
like
baby
lumpy
walk
and
up.
tall grass.
It's not like it's gonna help me at all, but I do have a little baby walk up. Holy shit, this is fucked.
T-pad would help.
Alright. Take 2. Beautiful.
Oh, he fucking nails it.
He nails it.
A little short, but you hit the gap.
All I was asking for. All right, your turn, buddy.
Okay, I'll try it too. This run up's so fucked, bro.
Yeah, it sure is.
A little too much hyzer.
Base of the tree.
That's okay. A par with a good approach. I think that's the right difficulty.
I think so. I think you're the right difficulty.
All right, so we threw that shot. You kind of have to walk left of it along this game trail. And we found a little smoky spot. It's really shaded, nice and cool in here. Literally all we have to do is come out with some like shears, like, you know,
Yeah.
and just get some of these branches and just open this up.
I've been getting hit with ads for a little 2-inch chainsaw. And bring that thing out.
That'd be fun. 2-inch chainsaw. Yeah, the video's gonna be long, but I just want to be able to find it again. So we popped out of that little burnout, turnout smoking spot, came across here. So you're kind of from the position of the tee to the basket, you're going like 45 degrees left, then hitting this watering hole, going 90 degrees right up this hill. But it's, again, a little bit of a game trail type thing, or cow trail, I don't know. But I think, pretty sure it's over here. It's updating, walked 50 feet from the last section of the video. Pretty sure we were aiming for this stump. Yeah. I think the gap was further over here, where I'm coming up on. We're aiming for this thing, but this looked high. So I think we both landed on this. Yeah, I think it was,
I'm like here.
yeah, you're in here somewhere. I think I hit that bush. But that's the stump we saw from the T sign, or T sign, T box.
No crossing this fucking thing.
Okay, so I bogeyed, Eric parred. if the basket was here by the stump thing. We're gonna walk along. We're still looking for a pocket across. Ooh. It's so steep there on that side though.
That's how it is everywhere.
It's gotta mellow out. Oh, I'm seeing some, it's kind of opening up over there maybe. So we might give up because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have ticks all over me. They're absolutely covering me. They're covering me. I mean, there's literally like 6 on me right now, bro. Vlog update. Came out here at peak tick season. I found so many on me. Eric found a few on him. I think my count's like up to 12 now. We don't want to fuck with it anymore, so we're just gonna beeline it the fuck out of here. Come back when it's not peak tick season. But there's promise here. I think the better part was on the back for sure. That little gap, huh?
Yeah.
All right, that's the end of this video probably. Just gonna hike up this massive hill.
We'll get one more of us jumping some barbed wire fences.
Okay. Too many ticks out here. Too many ticks.